All right. So how do we relate to people? This is the example. I mean, everything, the world is all about relationships. Relationships with yourself, even too, with yourself and your ideas, with your job, with your family, with your roles, with people, with ideas, with laws, with both what we think is physical laws and also man-made laws, things like that, and all sorts of stuff. So, but the most powerful part comes when we're talking about relationships with a person. I mean, that's the clearest mirror, is especially if you have an intimate relationship with someone, that you say you love and you care for, and that you're being a partner with. They are that's probably the easiest way to see this, because they'll be the clearest mirror for you to see what is going on inside you. That's the real value of relationships, even especially intimate ones, is the person becomes a mirror for you. The more intimate you are, and the more supportive and loving you are of each other, and less judgmental, the more you can just be still and allow. You don't have to reflect back to the person what you're seeing. They see themselves in you, and as they do, they will act it out or speak about it. And a wise soul will listen then, especially if it triggers you. Let's say, like, well, that's kind of, it hits what you're seeing in you, and maybe you don't want to look at it right now. So, but if you can listen and you can reflect back, or if you can't, however you do. At any rate, with relationships, when you're in a relationship, you have an issue. Like, say it's over, it doesn't matter. Say it's over sex or money, or having kids, or if you're younger, or let's just say money, because that's usually a powerful one, about how to use money, save it, how to use credit, how to react to financial institutions, stuff like that. Maybe you have, if you're lucky, you have different views on that. The more diverse, the better. Absolutely, the more diverse, the better, right? When you go into that, like I'm using mine, my partner and I, we had very dramatic differences in so many things, not about love, not about acceptance, but about how to live the life. Oh God, it was just, she was there, I was there. It was just, that's the way it was for all the time we were together. And what I learned was, as the friction kept increasing, because she had her ways, I had mine, and they did not meet. And we tried to manipulate them. I tried to manipulate her in ways to see the things that I was seeing, so that she would come to my side more. I'm sure she did the same in her own way. And you just keep doing it. And what you find out is that you start reaching a point with an issue where maybe you can make a compromise, but sometimes the compromise is something that is not really acceptable for either of you. But the more you fight it, the more you realize the other person isn't going to move, and how you feel from that, almost like you're betraying yourself by continuing. The idea comes to leave, to run away. That's the first action. Like, well, could I leave? Could I just run away and start over? And when people are young, a lot of times that's what they do. Well, they'll not be young, but a lot of people are just immature in their thinking. They think, well, they're going to run away, and they're going to run away from the problem. Well, they don't run away from the problem. They just, it sets itself up in another form sometime later. But that run away, and that pulls me to the second one, which is looking at manipulation, of how we try to manipulate the other person, and we manipulate the situation. Many times thinking, like, even a therapist could say, well, you're doing that for good reason. That's not that you're stating your boundaries, and you need to be firm on your boundaries. Well, you don't really have to be firm on your boundaries, because, I know people are going to say, well, yeah, you do. Well, in the world you do, yeah, or you get abused, yeah. Jesus wasn't firm on his boundaries, and they murdered him. He didn't say it was wrong. And not only that, he stopped his friends from trying to stop him. That's a good one to look at. He saw something else. All right. But in relation, when you do that over and over and over, then what happens is you start to check out. You stop talking. You don't become as intimate. You keep doing the same thing over and over, trying different ways. You're trying to move the furniture in different ways, still for years and years and years. But if you look at it, eventually you'll look at it and you'll say, okay, so what, I know when with my partner got very sick then, was terminal and losing body parts, and it was just, and it took it to a depth where I had to go, oh my God, I can't keep doing this manipulation stuff. It's horrible for me. It's horrible for her. How do I just accept her? I was going like, well, that's kind of the key. But I said, what can I do? And it was like you could numb yourself out. You could medicate yourself. You could try to do things in the world to take your mind off it, or steer it. Find other people to do the things that you wanted to do with her or him. Or you can, run away again. You can think about running away again, all that. And so that's where we're at. And you're sitting there in that same place. Like, you can run away physically, or you can run away internally. And some people think that's really good to do. Like, there's therapies that say that's a good thing to do, to run away internally, to take care of yourself, to maybe communication is part of the problem as well. Just a sec. Another video.